What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2026 Ram 1500 RHO. Huge thank you to AJ over at Chrysler of Culpeper, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular RHO or any Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram product, then I'll be sure to have AJ's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is a beautiful sun mixed with clouds, 65-degree day outside. However, it is rather breezy. There really shouldn't be any wind noise in the video because I got a new wireless microphone, but if there is, I apologize in advance about that. But just like usual, first, I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2026 Ram 1500 RHO, and this particular one's been painted in one of my personal favorite colors, the $295 Delmonico Red Pearl Coat. Looks absolutely beautiful here on the RHO. And I also wanted to preface this video by saying there have been no changes made to the RHO for the 2026 model year. So with that in mind, as standard with the RHO, you get LED projector headlights with automatic high beams as well as black headlight bezels, LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights. Just above your headlights, you get the Sport Performance hood, basically the same hood that you would have found on the Ram TRX, and this one's been optioned with the $895 RHO hood graphics. You can spec it with them. If you don't end up liking the graphics, you can always peel them off. They are vinyl. And then on the outsides of that hood graphic, you get the Hurricane high output badging followed by your hood vents. These hood vents are non-functional. However, there is a different story here when you come to your air intake. This is a functional air intake. It leads directly into the air filter, and then also you get the 3 marker lights as well because this is a very wide vehicle. Basically the exact same hood that you would have found on the TRX. This looks very similar to the TRX. Obviously the headlights are a little bit different, more updated, and the hood, or excuse me, the grille is a little bit different as well. Now speaking of the grille, you get the satin black Ram style grille with the satin black surround. I love how you get the flow through Ram lettering. That is very, very cool. And then I wanted to mention at the beginning of the video, I'm going to say this a lot, this one's been optioned with the $9,995 level 1 equipment group. So just located underneath your A, you get a front camera. That is because that package gives you a 360-degree view camera system. Now speaking of safety features though, as standard, you get 6 forward-facing sensors located on your satin black front bumper. By the way, that front bumper is made out of metal. It's powder coated black, very cool looking. And then a couple other things I wanted to mention is that you get those 2 front tow hooks, and this being an off-road vehicle, obviously you are going to get skid plates, and your skid plates protect your belly pan, your front suspension, your steering gear, your fuel tank, and your transfer case. So this is an off-road capable truck, so they do want to protect all the essentials to keep this thing moving while driving down an off-road path. This is more of a Baja truck rather than like a rock crawling truck, but nonetheless you have all those protections so you don't break something. Now coming down the side, you get this marker light. I cannot remember, I had a 2021 TRX and I can't remember if it had this marker light or not, but nonetheless you get an amber LED marker light here on your front 2 fenders. I love about the TRX and the RHOs that you get that beautiful wide body appearance. It really reminds me of the Gen 1 Raptor with the beautiful body lines, very rounded. It's just a very sweet looking truck. I mean, they got the proportions right here, first with the TRX and now with the RHO. So you can see you get those oversized front fenders. And when you come down underneath all this stuff, you get a very beefy suspension. So you get beefy upper and lower control arms. And then you also get the Bilstein Blackhawk E2 shocks here with the RHO. And with all of that stuff working together, you get 11.8 inches of ground clearance as well as a 31-degree approach angle. Figured I'd throw all that stuff, those little facts if you guys are actually interested in that kind of stuff. But this one has also been optioned with the sick $1,895 18-inch beadlock capable wheels, and the wheels are wrapped in the 35-inch Goodyear Wrangler Territory all-terrain tires. Here's a quick view of what the tread pattern on those tires look like, and then also I'm going to throw a price of 1 tire on screen and the total of 4 tires of a set. Very expensive tires, as you may be able to tell. And then you also get get the same kind of fender vent that you would have found on a TRX here on the RHO. And this one being optioned with the level 1 equipment group, you get the rain sensing wipers. Coming down the side, I'm kind of going to divide these two, or the mirrors, into two parts. So I'm going to tell you first what you get standard, and second what you get with the level 1. So as standard, you get gloss black mirror caps with integrated turn signals, and these mirrors are heated, power folding. The driver mirror is auto dimming. You also get your blind spot function on the outer left-hand side of the driver mirror and on the outer right-hand side of your passenger mirror. And then you also get puddle lights at the bottom of both of your side view mirrors. And this one being optioned with the level 1 equipment group, you get 2 memory seat settings for the driver that incorporates the outer mirrors. And then you also get cameras at the bottom of both of your side view mirrors. And those cameras work with your 360-degree view camera system that, again, you get with the level 1 equipment group. Here's a side profile shot of this thing. Satin black window trim. You get the gloss black door handles. Keyless access does come standard. You also get the black Ram lettering on your front 2 doors only. You can, I believe, only spec this with the 2-tone, so you get that black, beautiful black at the bottom of all of your doors, and then also at the bottom of your bedsides. And then this has also been optioned with the $1,195 running boards. They are in a bed liner type of material, very rugged, and they are also helpful when stepping in and out of this thing. With this being a high performance engine, you do have to fill this thing up with at least 91 octane. Here in Virginia, we only have 93, so 91 octane plus, and you also get a 33-gallon fuel tank. Very good, because this thing does burn through fuel a little bit better than the TRX, but not all that great. And again, as mentioned, this being optioned with the level 1 equipment group, you are going to get the LED third brake light as well as the digital rear view mirror. So you can see you get a little camera to the left of your LED brake light, and that also doubles as your LED cargo lights as well. Standard, you get a power sliding rear window. This has been optioned with the $695 tonneau cover. It's not a hard tonneau cover, but it is going to keep your valuables in the bed dry. Down the sides, I love the RHO badging back here. However, that does come at a price. So if you want the RHO letters on the sides of your bed, that is a $495 option. I think it's worth it. If you get a truck like this, yeah, people might know what it is, but you really want to let them know, and it's only 490 bucks. So worth it to me anyway. Around back, LED taillights come standard. They are the new gen taillights. I actually, in person, now that I'm experiencing them more and more, I do like the new gen taillights rather than the old gen. And then around back here on your tailgate, so you get the black badging back here. You also get the black tailgate handle. And what's also nice is you do get an LED tailgate handle light. And then obviously you can also see you have your backup camera there. With the level 1 equipment group, you are going to get the power up and down tailgate. Very nice. It can be operated from the key fob and then also on the interior as well, in addition to the handle here on the tailgate itself. In the rear, this has been optioned with the $945 bed utility group. So you get the spray and bed liner, you get the 115 volt outlet located on the left side of your bed. You also get the 4 tie-down hooks and that track, as well as the deployable bed step, which can be found on the outside of the bumper. And then, you know, this being talking about the bed, we might as well talk about the payload. So you get a 1,240 pound max payload capacity, and then you also get the LED lights, and you get a button here for the LED lights located on the driver's side of the bed. You also get 4 like tie-down hooks, look like that, in addition to the track that you get with the bed utility group. If you wanted to open or close the tailgate, find that pad on the tailgate handle, and the tailgate will close right back up. Coming around back, you also get a satin black powder coated rear metal bumper with 4 integrated parking sensors. This being optioned with the level 1 equipment group, you get a 12-to-1 connector here for your trailers, like trailer cameras, stuff like that. Obviously standard, you're going to get a 4 and 7 pin connector for your class 4 trailer hitch. We might as well talk about capacities here now. You get a max tow capacity of 8,380 pounds. You also get a spare tire, full-size spare tire with the same Goodyear tires. You get a dual exhaust system. Sounds actually pretty good, which you'll see on the driving portion of the video. I always love the way that an inline 6 sounds. You get 2 tow hooks back here, both there and there as well. And I wanted to mention this, in addition to the approach angle, you also get a breakover angle of 21.8 degrees and a departure angle of 25.2 degrees. So this thing is actually very capable. It just has a little bit less power than the TRX, but I kind of got on this thing a little bit, and it is very, very quick, and it actually sounds really good too. So we might as well now talk about performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 3-liter inline-6 Hurricane high output engine. It produces 540 horsepower and 521 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission and can do 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 14 miles per gallon in the city, 16 miles per gallon on the highway for 15 miles per gallon combined with all-time all-wheel drive. So just like the TRX, this is full-time all-wheel drive. And then also the fuel economy figures with this really aren't that much better than the TRX. Yes, they are a little bit better, but not all that much better. But it is a great alternative to that supercharged 6.2 liter V8, which they're supposed to be coming back with a TRX soon. I don't know when, but soon, supposedly. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. That is what helps me do videos with cars and trucks like this. So if you guys are enjoying the content, please do those things. And then also, if you guys just like car content in general, in addition to reviews, be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I do more stuff there behind the scenes and more non-car review related stuff. So if you guys want to see more of me, more of that, follow me on those social media platforms at 703 Speed on everything. But with that stuff out of the way, let's take a look at the interior of this thing. All right, moving on into the interior. Keyless access does come standard, so all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, hand behind the door handle, it will unlock. If you wanted to lock it back up, you run your finger across that little box there and you can hear it locks back up. This is what the key fob looks like. You get the red RHO symbol on this side, and then on the opposite side, you have your unlock function, your lock function. That is to open and or close your tailgate. You also have remote start and your panic function. If you wanted to remote start this, all you have to do is press this twice and she will fire right up. Take a listen. Yeah, much quieter as compared to the outgoing TRX, but still sounds actually really good at wide open throttle, which you guys will see here in a little bit. So as standard, you get the black leather trimmed seats. However, if you want a little color in here, you might want to take a look at the optional $1,495 red interior accent option. It's going to give you some red stitching and then also some red here on the seats. Very cool. You know, if you don't like red, then don't get that option. But we're going to get right into this. The reason it turned off is because we are low on fuel. So with the level 2 equipment group, you're going to get a nicer looking door panel. So you get some leather wrapping up top here. You get genuine carbon fiber. You get some Alcantara trimming with the level 2 equipment group. You get the driver seat memory. So you get 2 memory settings. And then you also get the massaging front seats. The front passenger also gets that. And then in addition with that, to the level 1 equipment group, you're also going to get a 19 speaker Harman Kardon sound system with these very nice looking speaker surrounds. Definitely like that. Then you have your mirror controls here, automatic up and down windows in the front. You do not get automatic up or down windows in the back. Restrict your passenger window privileges, unlocking your lock functions. Nicely padded armrest, spot you can set your phone, tons of storage space at the bottom of the door panel. Now taking a look at what we got going on here in the interior. So you can see you get the RHO stitched into the seat back. It looks sick. If you got the red interior accents, it would be red, I believe. So as standard, you get 8-way power adjustable front seats with 4-way power lumbar. Heated front seats and a heated steering wheel are also standard, but this being optioned with the $9,995 level 1 equipment group. You get the ventilated front seats in addition to the heated function. And then also, as mentioned, I already said, you get the massage. So stepping into the interior, we're going to fire this thing up. I'm going to make sure I don't play any music because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Now we're going to walk you, or I'm going to walk you throughout the entire interior. So we're going to start over here. So with the level 1 equipment group, you get the nice leather wrapping on your assist handles when you're stepping into the vehicle. I like that. And then beneath that, you have your HVAC vent. You have your headlight controls to for the backlit buttons and stuff like that to the right of that, and then electronic parking brake. You get the power adjustable pedals with memory with the level 1 equipment group, and then I believe this is for the bed utility group. So if you didn't get that, you wouldn't have this button, but this is to turn the household outlet in the bed on or off. Side of the steering wheel, you flip that down, that gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So basically you can pull the steering wheel out, and you can also push the steering wheel up and down as well. So that is what I mean by tilting and telescoping. And then I'm just going to come over to here. We're going to hide in the shade a little bit because the sun can be kind of aggressive when filming videos. So I'm going to park in this spot here, and we're just going to continue with the video like nothing happened. So coming over to here, you have your turn signal control stock. It's also your high beam control stock and your windshield wiper control stock. Zooming back out, with the level 1 equipment group, you get the leather wrapped steering wheel with the carbon fiber insert there on the bottom. You get the paddle shifters as standard, and then also on the back side of your steering wheel, you have your tuning controls on the left, and on the back side of the right-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your volume controls. So that is very cool. Then you have the pad here and the OK button, as well as that button right there. All of that is to control your 12-inch digital gauge cluster, which you, by the way, get as standard with this thing. Then above that, I believe the level 1 equipment group gives you that microphone so you can speak to the vehicle. Standard, you can pick up on a phone call and hang up on a phone call with those 2 buttons there. And then coming to this side of the steering wheel, as standard, you get adaptive cruise control, but if you click this button, you also have the active driving assist. And I believe, don't quote me to this, I believe the active driving assist comes a part of the level 1 equipment group. It could come standard. I can correct myself on screen, but this is also part of the active driving assist right there. And then take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like here on the RHO, red push button start button. And then take a look at our digital gauge cluster, RHO at the top. You can adjust what you see here. This is a very configurable gauge cluster. TAC on the left, speedometer on the right, digital speedometer readout at the center, traffic sign recognition, a part of the level 1 equipment group, temperatures there. And then you have your fuel gauge, fuel range over here, odometer, and then that is the drive mode. Again, to control that screen, you have these buttons here. So if you scroll down, you can go into your driver info screen, and then you have all of your different vehicle information that can also be displayed at any given time, whatever you want to see. And then click down one more. You get your 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 timers, performance data. And if you click to the left, you get your drag times, braking distance, G-forces, all of these different things. You can see top speed right now is 72. Trip A, Trip B information, navigation stuff. You can pop actually the map throughout this screen. It is loading, so you can see it pops up there. Come down a little bit more off-road stuff, pitch and roll, trailer tow stuff, audio stuff, and then you got your stored messages, and then you can adjust the head-up display. By the way, head-up display does come part of the level 1 equipment group, and it is displayed right there. It shows the speedometer, it shows the speed limit sign, and it shows the active driving assist right now on screen, as well as the music, I believe. And then let's go. I'm just going to go back into our other screen because I'm not really going to mess with that. So you click this button, it brings you into these 5 tiles. These 5 tiles are also configurable to your liking. You can see whatever you want to. It's basically like a shortcut into whatever the heck you want to see on the screen. And then all the way to the right, you have like your RHO performance screen, stuff like that. Very easy to use screen. And then the paddle shifters are decently responsive. You'll see that on the driving portion of the video. Heads-up display with the level 1 equipment group. Up top here above your infotainment system, you get some storage space and a 12-volt power outlet. Now coming down, as standard with this RHO, you would have gotten a 12-inch infotainment system. It's still Uconnect 5. However, because this has been optioned with the level 1 equipment group, it upgrades you to a 14.4-inch Uconnect 5 infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto connectivity. It works very similar to as the like Uconnect 4 screens and stuff that are the 12-inch. On the outside, you have your HVAC stuff, also your lane keeping stuff, traction control, and your hazard stuff. Volume control knob, tuning control knob, screen off button, mute button, and then they brought this stuff into the screen, so your parking sensor beeps on or off there, trailer gain, trailer steering, and then, you know, at the top here, you got all of your different sources. Very easy to go throughout screen. You have all of your shortcut buttons here at the bottom of the screen. I don't feel like I need to spend too much time on the screen because it's basically the same as any other Ram if you guys have ever been in a Ram. So comfort stuff, you can pop up your heated and ventilated seat stuff, and then also heated steering wheel, 3 levels of adjustability with that. And then if you come up to the top of the screen and you click on that, that is going to bring you into your heated and your ventilated seat function stuff, as well as your heated steering wheel. Same stuff over here for the passenger as well. So that's just a little shortcut, and then you get your time and your temperature and stuff. Very easy to use. Don't feel like you, again, need to spend too much time on that. But to the left of that, this is only obviously with the RHO. You get your RHO drive mode, so you can switch between your different drive modes by clicking to the left and the right. So you get your custom, mud/sand. You can see rock, Baja, sport, tow, snow, auto. And it also shows you what you do over here. So in your My mode, if you go to that, you can adjust exactly what you want to have the vehicle do with that. And then also, I believe this is your hill descent control, or excuse me, this is like your off-road cruise control. That is auto stop start, 2-speed transfer case, 4 high, 4 low, 4 auto. And then you also have your rear axle lock. And then you have your launch control button, very conveniently located in arm's length away at all times. Down here, Again, this one's been optioned with the, or I don't know if I mentioned this, but this one's been optioned with the $595 trailer tow group. So you get the reverse steering control, which is what this is here. And then you also get the trailer TPMS sensor readers. So I think this does come standard, the integrated trailer brake controller. 4 auxiliary switches for light bars, 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, auxiliary jack, and then you also get another USB-C port, another USB-A port, and an HDMI port. I believe this stuff is for your passenger interactive display. By the way, passenger interactive display does come a part of the level 1 equipment group. More on that in a second, but I wanted to mention, with all of these screens and all of these black touch points, as in like piano black, you are going to get fingerprints, you're going to get dust and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to throw a product on screen right now. It is called ONR. So if you have a microfiber rag, and then you also have a spray bottle, basically you'd spray down one of your microfiber rags and you'd hit that with the wet microfiber rag, and then you'd follow it back up with a dry rag. You wipe that off and it's going to look brand new and clean every single time. So I highly recommend that product. I used to be a detailer, and that is just something that I personally use myself. Very nice. But anyways, passenger interactive display. I just went with somebody that I know personally who's going to go and potentially buy a new Ram 3500 Longhorn. And you're going to get that passenger interactive display, I think, with no matter what. I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure that is no matter what. And I would say that I would rather have the upper glove box, and the guy who went with to buy or potentially buy that, he also would prefer the upper glove box for his napkins and stuff. So Ram, I think you should make this an individual option. I don't think that you should raise the MSRP just to put this screen in, or just throw it in one of those level 2 equipment groups, because not everybody's going to want that, even if they want a fully loaded vehicle. So just my 2 cents. You guys can let me know your feedback in the comments down below. Would you rather have the upper glove box or the passenger interactive display? The thing is, you can't really watch YouTube on there. Not really much you can do on that. So just my opinion. And then down here, you get 2 wireless charging pads. Those come a part of the level 1 equipment group. You have your 2 cup holders you can close off if you want to, and then you get that carbon fiber trim. Obviously, I love this gear shifter. It works very nicely. Then you also get the RHO plaque here on your suede and leather center console. Opening this up, you get some storage space. Open it up one more time, you get tons of storage space down in there. And then you also get this thing, which I don't think I'd ever use. Passenger interactive display, you can kind of navigate through a couple things. Not really my type. I'd rather, again, have the upper glove box, but beneath that you have a lower glove box that is lockable, decent amount of storage space in there. And then you also get the RHO badging on the passenger side as well. Up top here, level 1 equipment group gives you the digital rear view mirror. If you're not a fan of that, you can flip that forward and it's just going to behave like an auto dimming rear view mirror would. However, I like the digital rear view mirror. You can adjust the brightness of it. You can also adjust the up and down. So down, up, and that's kind of about it. So I personally like this. However, sometimes you can get some glare on it, depending on where the sun is shining. You get your sunglass holder up top here. You have your controls for your rear slider. Your LED lights, that is to open or close your tailgate. This is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the doors. That is your instant dome light on button. Roadside assistance features, again, that is to open or close your rear sliding glass. Universal garage door opener. Opening this up, vanity mirror, 2 vanity lights. They are halogen, so if ladies out there, you guys like to take your pictures, this is nice lighting to accent your skin rather than an LED. Woo! Opening this back up, this slides forwards and backwards. Gentlemen, if you have a wife and you're trying to sell her on this, you can sell her with, hey, it's got the halogen lights, it doesn't have the LEDs, so you can take nice selfies in the truck. Just saying. And really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on in these front seats, other than these headrests are adjustable. Very nice, and there's a lot of adjustability with that. So now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard, everything that you get with the level 1 equipment group. A couple things I wanted to mention that you get with that: 360 cam, heated and ventilated rear seats, the reclining second row seats, massaging front seats, 19 speaker Harman Kardon sound system, and everything you guys can read yourself. The only option that this doesn't really have that I would want anyway is the $1,595 panoramic sunroof. This does not have that, but again, if you wanted it, you can option it about, again, $1,600. And now I'm going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular nearly fully loaded 2026 Ram 1500 RHO is spec'd is $89,795. Fun fact, I had a TRX in 2021 when they first came out, and the MSRP on that, on the window sticker, I believe was like 87, and it was a level 2 equipment group. It just, I don't think it had the individual option at that time, 19-speaker Harman Kardon, or the technology package. So it also missed the digital mirror, but just kind of interesting to see the price differences now. This is the price of a 2021 TRX back brand new. So it's just interesting to see the prices going up. Now TRXs were like $110, because when the Raptor came out, that's where that price was. But these windows in the back go all the way down and all the way up. You get the nice touch points with the suede, the carbon fiber, nice padded armrest, spot you can set a phone, and then get some storage space. Ram boxes on both the driver and the passenger side. You can fill whatever you want to down in there. Very nice looking second row. I love how the center seat also looks very nice. And then it doubles as a center fold down armrest, and it also gives you a little bit of storage space down in there as well. Again, you do get the reclining second row seats. They are very, very comfortable for road trips and stuff. One thing is interesting, I would like to see if this was also wrapped in leather, especially with the level 2 equipment group for 10 grand. Seat back pockets behind both seats. The seat backs look very nice. 2 cup holders, carbon fiber trim, 2 USB-A ports, 2 USB-C ports, second row outboard, second row seats that are both heated and ventilated, 3 levels of adjustability there with both of those. And then you also get a 115 volt household power outlet as well. 5'9" adjusted behind myself. I am a shorty. Plenty of knee and leg room, and when it comes to headroom, you also got a ton of that as well. You can set your dry cleaning both there, and then you also get the speakers in the in the roof as well. But that's kind of about it for what we got going on in these front seats. You know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance rear seats, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of this thing. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now onto the driving portion of the video. We are gonna pop this thing into sport mode. I'm gonna do a nice little acceleration here on this kind of awkward hill. So let's see. This thing actually sounds really, really good. It sounds like an inline 6. And that's why I personally believe that inline 6 cylinders sound better. All right, so I'm not quite too sure what happened there, but the camera shut off. I don't know why exactly, but listen. This thing sounds great. And I also really like, I'm not sure if you can see on the head-up display, it gives me what gear I'm in now that I'm in manual mode, and then also the tack. This seems to have better top end than lower end, but now that I'm in sport mode, the suspension firmed up and it's handling phenomenally well, whereas when it was in auto mode, it was kind of doing some body roll. It didn't seem like it was all that well put together, but now I'm in sport and driving down these back roads, man, this thing's awesome. It feels very light, like it feels lighter than the TRX in the nose. I had a 2021 TRX, so I'm just basing it off of that, but it feels lighter in the front, and it just sounds phenomenal. I mean, this thing truly sounds fantastic. It sounds like a BMW. That's what it reminds me of. I would say definitely more top end than low end, but we're gonna throw it back into drive, and we're gonna go back into auto mode. I'm gonna go back over here. Now we're just gonna drive this thing. We're gonna behave now, right? We're gonna see how does this thing do just, you know, driving to and from work or something like that. And yeah, you know, fuel economy, not that much better than the TRX, but it is a little bit better. But I'm actually, this is my first time driving an RHO. I've got extensive time behind the wheel of a TRX, and just that's what I'm directly comparing this to. I've also driven the Gen 3 Raptor, and that's also a great truck as well, but I feel like I like the sound of this better than the Raptor. The Raptor kind of sounds more like a GTR, and the TRX sounds more like a BMW M3. So this sounds more like the S58 engine that you would find in like an M3 or an M4, or even an M2, I believe now, so, or an X3M, whatever you want it, X4M, all of them. That's what it sounds like, and the Raptor sounds more like that trombone, like GTR sound, where I definitely like the sound of an inline 6-cylinder better, personally. I know everybody's got their own, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, right? So, we're gonna do a little acceleration here to the right, nothing crazy, but just we're gonna accelerate here onto the highway and see what you can do. I'm gonna open up the back window for some extra sound. So the power really wakes up around, seems like to me anyway, like 3,200 RPM is where this thing really starts to pull. Whereas underneath that, yeah, it's still got some pretty good power, but this is more of a horsepower engine than it is a torque engine, though it does have great torque when you're cruising on the highway and you're trying to pass somebody and you give it just a little bit of throttle, you can get around that person. But if you're flooring it, you really feel that top end. So we'll do a little cruise here at about 70, 65, 70, see how road and wind noise it sounds. You can feel a little bit of the bumps, like out of the suspension. You can hear the tires a little bit, but it's really not that bad. I mean, I'm whispering to you guys right now, cruising 65 miles an hour, and if I wanted to, I could go off-road right off the side of the road. So if somebody did something and I need to do an evasive maneuver, I feel very confident in being able to correct and just the suspension just soak up everything. So do a little something here. Power's right there. Did a downshift again, 3,200, 3,500 RPM. It really starts to pull. This is just a great truck, and I've always liked my Rams. It's honestly one of my favorite brands, and I really truly, even to this day, think Ram has the best interior still. Ford and Chevy have tried, and Ford and Chevy interiors are really good, but I feel like both of them have a lot more plastic than I feel like the Ram has. And I kind of like the touch points better on the Ram and as compared to the Chevy and the Ford. Again, it all comes down to personal preference, but I've been in all three extensively, and I just still prefer the Ram. So we'll do another acceleration. So it does feel more powerful than a Raptor, but it doesn't have the same like oomph as a TRX. It just doesn't. But again, that's not what this truck is competing with necessarily, right? This is competing with the Gen 3 V6 EcoBoost Raptor. And in between the two, which one would I rather have? I think I'd rather have this. I think this sounds better. The interior, in my opinion, is nicer. The exterior, you know, you could go either way. I love the way that the Rams look, though. I also really like the way that the Gen 3 Raptors look. So again, it all comes down to personal preference and what you're looking for, but they're really priced about the same. The only thing that I do wish that this had, even though I love the level 1 equipment group, I do wish it did not have that passenger interactive display. I would rather have the upper glove box than that display, but again, personal preference. I'd rather that be a standalone option than thrown into the level 1 equipment group. Seats are very comfortable. The massaging function is also very comfortable, and as you guys saw on that main screen, this is the performance pages that I don't think I mentioned when we were talking about the interior, but very nice truck. I love the Delmonico red. That is one of my favorite colors on a vehicle. So if you guys are interested in this particular one, I'll have AJ and Chrysler Culpeper's information in the description box down below. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. That is what helps me do more videos like this. So if you guys enjoyed, please do that. And then also, if you like me and you like this kind of content, you just like cars in general, be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I do more car related stuff on those two pages in addition to the reviews. So if you guys like that stuff and you just want to watch a relatable personality on YouTube that likes cars, be sure to follow me on all social media platforms. Again, 703 Speed. Guys, thank you so much for your support. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.